Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to the final section of the psychology part of this course. Today's video, we're going to be talking about trading in the zone. Now, I want to warn you, I do have some notes written down right here because this section will be a little bit longer than the others. And, I have some really good shit here, and I just want to make sure that I really get the point across and I don't forget anything. So, jumping right into it, I'm going to start off by reading just kind of an excerpt from this book. It'll be really brief, so just stay tuned. So, you may know a lot about markets. You may know major players, when to buy, when to sell, and which assets have the potential to move. But how well do you know yourself? Even the most astute, highly motivated, well-grounded traders can be crippled by counterproductive thinking that leads to poor decisions and trading errors. They suffer from an inability to stay objectively focused or lack the necessary discipline and confidence to execute their trades properly. Or they let deeply ingrained mental contradictions and misconceptions about trading or the nature of the market rule their asset picking. The result, an extremely high percentage of traders lose all or most of their money the first year of trading. So, Trading in the Zone is a book written by Mark Douglas, and I'll stamp this as my own opinion, and I think the opinion of a lot of traders. This is the greatest book written in regards to this industry. It's going to completely, change the game for you. I understand that, reading is boring for a lot of people. So, if that's you, guys, please go to YouTube and, just like watch a book summary. But honestly, guys, like the best way is to actually just read this book. Now, this video right here could be a book summary for you if you don't, if you're not into reading or whatever. So I decided to tell you, the 5 best principles that I've taken from this book. These principles, they're the foundation and building blocks of my trading strategy and my trading methodology. And I really believe that, all successful traders have pretty much these very similar, concepts in their own, trading strategies. So, before I kind of go over these principles, I want to let you guys in on a little trading secret. It really is that simple. Like, that's the secret. Okay, when you hear that, psychology is the only thing that matters, as a beginning trader, you're gonna think like, yeah, all right, buddy. You're gonna be skeptical of it, and you're gonna find it hard to comprehend how simple it is to be a successful trader. It's gonna be trading is going to be the most difficult thing you do, but it's so objectively simple to be a great trader. Believe me, it took me 2 years to actually believe in this truth that psychology is the only thing that matters. It took me 2 years of, researching strategies and testing concepts and practicing, technical analysis, 2 years of buying courses and 2 years of learning price action just to realize that the only thing that I truly needed to study was a book that I read my 3rd month of trading. It took me 2 years, bro. And I read this book 3 months into my trading journey when I was with IML, my mentor who I previously talked about, who set me up with a really good foundation. He told me, he stressed the importance of, psychology is the most important thing. You need to read this Trading the Zone book. But when I first started, I was like, okay, buddy, yeah, right, bro. Give me some price action. Give me something I can actually learn. Screw this book. Sorry. I'm like, screw that book, bro. I'm not reading that crap. And I read it, like just skimming through it, just trying to get through it because I felt like that was what I had to do, right? But man, 2 freaking years just to realize that all I really needed to do was study that book and fix my own psychology. And I could have been profitable just a lot long ago, man. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not sure when that moment's going to happen for you, but I almost guarantee you won't grasp the importance of this right now. But when you do, everything will click, and you're going to be astounded by how simple and true it is that psychology is really all that matters. So let's dive right into these principles that I've taken from this book and that I implement in my everyday trading philosophy. So principle 1, look guys, the best traders simple as it can be, the best traders think differently from the rest. Winners have attained a mindset, that just allows them to remain disciplined, focused, and above all, confident in spite of the adverse market conditions. As a result, they're just no longer susceptible to the common fears and errors that mess everyone else up. Everyone who trades ends up learning something about the markets. Very few people who trade ever learn the attitudes that are absolutely essential to becoming a consistent winner. So just as people can, learn to perfect a golf swing, right? Just as you can learn to perfect a golf swing, your consistency or lack of it will without a doubt come from your attitude and mindset. For example, guys, the first time I ever played golf, bro, like I hit like 2 or 3 good shots, right? Like, you're feeling yourself, bro. Like, damn, I just striped it, But I still shot like a 120 or a 130, which is like ridiculous, bro. I played a par 3, bro. Like, that's a horrible score, right? It doesn't take anything to hit a good shot every once in a while. But what really separates the best from like me is people who can develop consistency, and consistency is found in your daily attitudes and your daily mindset and your approach to the game every single day. It's the same thing with trading. Principle 2 is, it doesn't matter. You don't have to know anything about yourself or the markets to put on a winning trade. And this is an absolute truth of trading. You don't have to know shit about this industry to put on a trade. Like right now, I can go to my computer, blindfolded, press buy, and there's a decent chance it wins. There's also a decent chance it loses, right? Like, but if I did that 100 times, I'm gonna have a couple winners, right? It doesn't take anything to put on a winning trade. And when I realized this principle, it made me realize 2 things. One, it doesn't matter how much I know about technical analysis, because at any point I can just put on a winning trade. It doesn't take any skill to do that, right? So it doesn't matter, how much I know about this. And the second thing it made me realize was, anyone can truly do this shit. Anyone can become a successful trader, right? You don't have to be a genius or an athlete or, come from a prominent family or kiss anyone's ass. Anyone can win in this industry. I mean, look around at, the big time, Forex mentors and Forex gurus or whatever you want to call them, I would argue like 9 out of 10 of them come from very humble backgrounds, and, most of them, come from poverty, and that right there is like inspiration. Like, damn, I can really win in this industry. And that, that's kind of like one of the biggest things I took from that principle is like, damn, bro, I can really do this. And I think that, I truly believe that anyone can win in this industry. And, yeah, man. So the third principle is, it's actually a section in the book. It's called the 5 Fundamental Truths of Trading. And I'm just going to read these real quick. These are actually on my trading journal. The next 2 principles are on my actual trading journal, and I read them every single day because, dude, they're so important. And like I can't really explain it, man. They shift your whole, like, it gives you a whole new perspective on the markets and changes your whole approach, and it's crazy, bro. Just reading these every day. So the 5 fundamental truths of trading. Number 1 is anything can happen at any time. Number 2 is you don't need to know what's going to happen next to make money. Number 3 is there is a random distribution of wins and losses for any given set of variables used to define an edge. Number 4 is an edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. And number 5 is every moment in the market is unique. Now, I'm going to summarize these because, I don't know, sometimes I don't think it clicks all the way. But number 1, anything can happen. We know this. Market movement, completely random. Anything at any point can happen. Like, the market can literally just straight tank out. It can happen. Nobody's saying it can't. Number 2 is, obviously, you don't need to know what's going to happen next to make money. Previous example, I could be blindfolded and hit buy or sell. Out of 100 trades, I'm going to win a couple times, right? I don't know anything. I can just press a button, okay? Number 3 is, there's a random distribution of wins and losses. We've already talked about this. When it comes to thinking in probabilities, there's a random distribution, and you have no idea when your next win or loss is going to come. So keep it trading, bro. Number 4 is, obviously, we just said, an edge is nothing more than an indication, which is true. Your strategy or your edge in the market it's just nothing more, than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. That's it. It's not a guarantee. It's not an absolute certainty. It's just an edge. Number 5 is, every moment in the market is unique. We know this is true because market movement is completely random, and just because something happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen right now. Okay, and once you accept these truths, you're going to be comfortable dealing with uncertainty and be able to enter the zone. The zone is where you are, you're just not fearful of making mistakes and losing money, and money's just going to effortlessly come to you as you execute your trades flawlessly. So the zone, just like in sports, bro, like a lot of my references are sports. I apologize for that, but like when you're in the zone, or like, you're watching a football game and the announcer's like, oh, he's in the zone, like type shit, or, You're watching an NBA game and Kyrie's just casually strapping 35 points effortlessly, right? He's in the zone. The zone is where everything's just so effortless. It's so easy. For example, like if you've played basketball, you know what I'm talking about. When you're in that zone, it doesn't matter who the hell's guarding you. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It's just like every shot's going in. You're seeing the court. You're spreading the ball. It's just easy. It's effortless. You're in the zone. Same thing with trading, bro. When you're trading in the zone, it doesn't matter what the market's doing, bro. You're just completely in flow with it, and trading is easy. Let's jump right into the fourth principle. The fourth principle, like I said, it's also in this book, and it's also a major factor in my own trading strategy. It's the 7 ways to become a consistent winner. Follow these, and consistency is, it's just in your future, man. The first thing is I objectively identify my edges every single day. Objectively meaning there is no potential to define, interpret, and therefore perceive any market info from a painful or euphoric perspective. Objectively. Every day I come to the markets, I objectively identify my edges. I see what's there. Number 2 is I predefine the risk of every single trade. If you truly accept that your next trade outcome is random and there is possibility you can lose, why would you not predefine your risk? Predefining your risk involves setting a stop loss and properly sizing your positions. So predefine your risk every single trade. You should always have a stop loss, and you should know every single trade, if it goes against you, how much you're going to lose. Number 3 is I completely accept the risk, so you won't be surprised if the trade, ends up being a loser. Be willing to let go of the trade. The 4th thing is execute your strategy without hesitation or reservation. Don't really need to explain that one. Pretty simple. The 5th is pay yourself as the market makes money available to you. So basically, don't be greedy. Take your profits when it's there. Don't expect the market to just go in your favor forever because, oh shit, I might make an extra $3. Like, bro, take your freaking just take your profits. The 6th way to become a consistent winner is, continually monitor your susceptibility for making errors and correcting any bad habits that are costing you money. Now, basically, we're going to have a little bit, we're going to have a whole section on that later in the course. Basically, that's saying, have a trade journal, and you should be journaling, the errors you made in your strategy, and you should be able to easily, go open a journal or something and be able to tell, what your errors are in your trading strategy. That's why you need to write it down instead of just having it in your head, and you need to continually monitor your susceptibility for those trading errors. The 7th way to become a consistent winner is to understand the absolute necessity of these principles of consistent success and never violate them. So basically, there's 6 really ways to become a consistent winner, with the 7th being don't violate the previous 6. So the 5th principle, the 5th most important principle I took from this book is thinking in probabilities. The previous section, we talked all about this, so I'm just going to touch on it briefly because I truly believe that, it's so important, right? And, I just can't stress the importance enough. So the best traders treat trading like a numbers game. If your next 5 trades are winners, you're going to believe your trading strategy is flawless and you're untouchable, right? But if your next 5 trades are losers, you're going to believe that your trading strategy stinks and the market's against you and the sky's falling and holy shit, just all kinds of stuff, right? In either case, whether they are winners or losers, the best traders know that the sample size is just too small to make any judgment on the profitability of the system, right? It's just not enough trades. The sample size is too small, bro. 5 trades is nothing. The best traders treat each trade like its own independent entity, because that's exactly what it is. Your last trades are no indication of what your next trade will be. You need to accept that each trade has a random outcome. When you do this, you're always going to predefine your risk so you won't have massive losses. When you don't have massive losses, you can stay in the game long enough to get a sample size large enough for your edge to produce a profit. This is a numbers game, so it's best to think in probabilities. Now, those are the 5 best principles that I've taken from this book. But guys, I can't stress it enough. You need to actually read this book and get your own, you need to develop your own 5 principles from this book. You need to see it through your perspective, because you might see shit in that book that I can't see or that I didn't see. I might see it on my 14th read through instead of right now where I'm at 6. I'm saying? It might take me a while to see what you see. So you need to read that book and take the information and put it in your own ideologies and your own your own brain and just process it, man. And if, like I said, if you're not a big time reader, go to YouTube, watch a book summary, rewatch this video. I think there's a ton of good information in this stuff. So yeah, man, you really need to dive into that book. With that being said, guys, that is it for the psychology section. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.